Talk to me about your relationship with Nick Zakelich. I'm here reporting for Fordham University, so obviously Nick is a big Fordham guy. You've spent time together living as roommates. I'd love to hear about what it's like to live with him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Nick's awesome. I feel like we get along really well. Obviously, we go to room together, and he's a really good football player. Like, we just get along well. He and I obviously have a connection with a guy that he grew up with, Mike Rose. He was my roommate in college, so that was like the first connection. And then outside of that, like, we got a lot of the same interests, and just laid back. We just sort of just chill out, just like college roommates would. So, but he's been great, man. Just in terms of being a friend for me, and obviously we can relate to a lot of things that we go through the football, the facility and stuff, and then you go home and just play some video games, hang out. Like, he's been a great roommate, man. So I'm very thankful for him.
So athletes creating podcasts are certainly on an upward trend. I was wondering what your perspective on athletes creating those podcasts are, maybe how it affects them positively, that they get to control their own narrative sometimes, maybe show their personality more.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Guys who want to talk football, they want to talk about things that are going on in the league, and I think it is fun. You want people to get who you are. Like, you want to put yourself out there a little bit. You don't just want to be a guy that wears a helmet and you cheer for on TV. Like, you want to let people get to know you. Like, hey, there's more to me than just a helmet. And so I like guys with their podcasts. Some of them are very incredibly entertaining. They're fun. They're super quippy. I think it's very positive for the league.
Kris Pursiainen here with WFUV Sports. With guys like Jacob Johnson, Alec Ingold, it feels like there's a little bit of a revitalization of the fullback position right now. Do you see it that way, or did it never die?
I love those guys, and I hope there's a revitalization, but sadly the numbers speak against it. There was a big decline in the amount of fullback usage this year. But what I am happy to see is that there are offensive systems that are growing throughout the league. You see with McDaniel and the Shanahans and Kubiaks and LaFleur's, they all institute fullbacks. So as long as they're around, the fullbacks will be around.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
The past few years, it feels like the Niners have always been a team that prides themselves on their defense, and now you being in year 5, being here the whole way, just what is it about the Niners defensively that allows them year to year to continue to be successful?
Just the standard that we set with all the guys that have been here. Fred, Dre, Eric. You kind of don't fit in if you don't come in and give the effort that we pride ourselves on, and we've had great coaches to go along with that.
And earlier in the week, it sounds that the Niners faithful has been raucous. When Chiefs players are speaking, there's a lot of boos going around, so it feels like you guys have some support in this area. Are you guys leaning into that at all during this week?
We're excited about it for sure. It seemed like they were definitely in the house in media day, so we're excited. We love when they show up, and hopefully they're drowning out the Chiefs fans.
Kris Pursiainen from WFUV Sports here with Juwan Jennings of the San Francisco 49ers. I just got 2 quick ones for you. First off, I wanted to start out by asking you about your blocking. You're like a brick of a blocker, and you really go at guys, and it works. What's your mindset before you go into a block or before a play where you're probably going to need to be blocking?
Just knowing exactly who I need to block first, and then coming off the ball and trying to back up the defenders with my speed, and then just trying to make the perfect block.
And second, you're in an offense with a lot of mouths to feed, right? It's a lot of talented players in this offense, and it's up and down the depth chart at almost every position. It takes a certain kind of mindset to succeed in that environment, right?
For sure.
You're not always going to get that look. They're not always going to throw over the back shoulder to you in the corner of the end zone. It's not always that movie scene, right? Sometimes you're blocking on the biggest play of the game, but you do it and you kill it. How are you so successful in that regard, and knowing your time will come?
It's just resiliency. You gotta set goals, set yourself for goals, and just no matter how long it takes you to reach those goals, you gotta go to work every day to achieve them. So it's just my kind of thought on it, the way I look into things. That's the way I stay focused.
Thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you having me.
you get the starting job last year, make a deep playoff run. This year, you're going to a Super Bowl. The ascension really has been quick for you. Has it felt as quick as it's been, or is that a thing where you're just taking it moment by moment?
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to take it moment by moment. Not trying to let it, go too fast and let anything get too big or out of hand for me. I just try to take it one game at a time, one practice at a time, one meeting at a time, and just be where my feet are at. I don't want to get caught up in what's going on or what the future looks like and miss out on what I have in front of me. Obviously, you want to win a Super Bowl, you want to win a championship. That's always the goal, but I'm trying to enjoy, the year that I get to live, with my family, my friends, my teammates, coaches, you name it. Like, I want to be able to enjoy the process as well. So it's been fun.
Despite the deficit you guys faced early in the NFC Championship game against Detroit, your guys' confidence never seemed to waver, and you seem to be a big proponent of that, whether it's keeping the guys loose and just maintaining the belief that you were always going to win that game. How do you keep that confidence, and how important do you feel it is to pass that off to your teammates during those situations?
It's super important because, especially like in that moment, you never want to lose belief on the football field because it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very like infectious of other people. So like if you start doing it, the next guy does it. If like one of your best players does it, then all the guys, all the younger guys see that and they might feel defeated. So you want to instill confidence in your entire team. But like the only way I can do that, like I can't fake believe. Like I don't want people to call me like, oh, you're just doing that, you're just trying to good for the camera, or you're just doing it because that's what you should say as a captain. I don't ever want to do that. But like the only reason I can talk to my teammates is because I do have a belief in them because of the talent that we have on this team, the guys that we have on this team, the character that we have on this team. There's not a single time that I'm sitting on the bench and I'm watching our defense play. I'm like, this could be a pick six, and I'm just like, that's what I believe every play. I'm like, I'm waiting for Nick Bosa to stunt the side and sack the quarterback. I'm waiting for Mooney to get an interception. Like every single play, I'm waiting for Drake Greenlaw to hit somebody super, super hard and Fred Flex in his face. Like that's what I expect on every play. So I'm on a team full of guys who can score at any time. And so like there's no reason for me to fail in belief. Like we have a very good offense and a very good defense. And so I believe in those guys, and it was fortunate for us, we got a lot of opportunities in that second half and we were able to take advantage of each one of them.
Debo, Kansas City's returning just 2 defensive starters from the last time y'all matched up, but you were saying earlier it feels like they're bringing a lot of the same guys back. In prepping for them on the film, do you feel like that's an effect of them sticking to their scheme, or it's the personnel they're switching in?
I think it's their scheme. I think it ain't changed. They just got different guys, but I mean we have like 7 people from 2019, and it feels like we got all the same people, but I mean we added a couple really good guys to our team, and hopefully we get this done.
One of those guys is Juwan Jennings. You guys in the wide receiver corps kind of all talk about his work ethic and how hard he goes at it. I feel like his blocking is where that shows most.
Oh yeah, that boy gonna get down and dirty down that run game for sure.
What have you? I know like you said, it's hard to be another Debo Samuel, but what have you learned anything from him about blocking? Is there anything you've taken from his away
Not
that he attacks?
Because I mean everybody got their own things that they're good in, and he's really really good at blocking it. As you watch it, like Brandon Ayuk, like outstanding blocker. We all like this is part of our offense. This is what we do.
The years that you've been in the Super Bowl, in those years that you didn't make it to the championship, did you take any specific lessons from those seasons that you're bringing into the playoffs so far and then into the Super Bowl this week?
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky to be in the playoffs a lot, so you take those NFC Championship losses hard and you try and learn from them, and I think all the experience in the playoffs that you have definitely pays dividends.
And then is there anything about this time around at the Super Bowl that's different than, whether it be like the city or just different experiences from the first time around?
I think it was a little more hectic in Miami just because we weren't kind of
That's surprising. It's Vegas.
Yeah, and thankfully we're a little ways away from the Strip, so it's been kind of peaceful.
Thank you.
Kris Pursiainen of WFUV Sports here with Brandon Ayuk, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon, I want to start out by asking you about you and what it is that makes you so unique as a wide receiver.
I think just a different skill set from just like the masses of receivers, I could say. I'm not sure, hard to put into words. I just feel like I'm different than the rest, than the masses. Yeah.
When it comes to being on a team like San Francisco, where you play alongside so much ridiculous offensive talent, Christian, George, Debo, there's a lot of mouths to feed, but you all kind of get yours in your own way. What's that like, buying in together as a team?
It's different. I've never been on a team where you guys that can change the game at any moment. 4 or 5 of them at that. So it's a little bit different. But everybody just understanding that you'll have your moment, you'll have your days, you'll have your time. It's just how are you going to play, how are you going to look, how are you going to act in between those times. Like you said, buying in, understanding that it'll come your way again soon.
I would say with your skill set, I'm no NFL head coach, but I think you could very easily be a number 1 wide receiver, an X, right, in a game plan. But you play alongside Debo.
Yeah, I am the X.
You play alongside Debo in the sense where you guys help each other on the field, and he can take the top off for you. You can do the same for him. What's it like, making each other better?
Just motivating each other. Watching him do things. Just motivates you. Like anybody. You want to see anybody make a play. Like those 5 guys that we've been talking about, 4 guys. You see anybody make a play. All it does is motivate you to want to make a play. Like, when's it going to be my turn to make a play? Because I got to make a play as well, too. And I feel like we all just kind of feel that same exact way from each other, which kind of pushes us all to be better.
Brandon, thanks so much for the time.
Yes, sir.